So the Yeet protocol itself first is comprised of two different products. The first product and our flagship product is the Yeet Ponzi, which we like to call the thermonuclear gigaponzi. There's another strategy as well, where like in the Yeet Ponzi, we have an epochal distribution of our own native token, the Yeet token, to players in the game.
Booga Booga, and welcome to this week's episode of BlockHunters Voices. My name is Joachim Vuju and I'm your host for today. BlockHunters Voices is a platform where we explore the journeys, stories, and insights of blockchain innovators and leaders, as well as the technologies driving their projects. Today, viewer discretion is advised because this is a beta-pilled episode and I'm joined by my co-host, and also we are going to go full on Yeetard because we have Lord Pemby with us. He needs no introduction. So let's crack some bags. Let's do some crack. Lord Pemby, welcome.
Yeet! Yeet!
Yeet!
Yeet!
Great to have you, my man.
Yeah, and it's so nice being on. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's start from the beginning, Lord. Who was Lord Pemby before Yeet and Berachain? When did you first discover crypto? And what were you doing before getting involved in this space?
All right. So before getting involved in crypto, I was working in kind of the Web2 startup world. I discovered crypto actually via the dark web, which I believe was a route many people kind of ended up in crypto via.
Like me too.
All right, yeah. and here we are now talking about Berachain.
The Silk Road area.
Exactly, yeah. Silk Road. I remember Alphabet. Anyway, so that was my first exposure to crypto. A lot of friends got me very into it. Also from a non-dark web standpoint, like in the ICO-era. Got rugged a bunch on various different ICOs, that promised they would cure world hunger, and the classic kind of ICO promises that were made at the time, which I thought were all hilarious. And so after that, I went on to do some kind of research in crypto. I also worked in crypto VC. I used to do mechanism design and tokenomics works, like focused mainly on DeFi and infrastructure. I actually have published a lot of writing in the past under like different pseudonyms or under my doc's name. Worked with a bunch of protocols, done some angel investing, done some advising, done a bunch of yield farming, done a bunch of shit on chain, I guess. And
basically did everything.
I guess. I mean, I think in crypto there's just so much to do all the time, but I've tried to stick my fingers in different pies and just had a lot of fun with it. And since I used to do mechanism design, I've always had an eye for the Ponzis, and I've always really enjoyed them, and I've always wanted to build like something very explicitly like a zero-sum game Ponzi, and that's how Yeet was born. But I guess we'll get to all that stuff later on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but I'm curious, Pemby, what inspired the creation of Lord Pemby persona on Twitter? Because your Twitter is pretty new compared with some others accounts that I follow, and I'm sure you had another persona before Lord Pemby.
So I did indeed. My persona was Michael Saylor. Don't tell anyone. I did want to start a new persona because the stuff I used to publish before, tweet about, was more kind of highbrow. It was less silly, and I wanted to kind of start something new and have like a more silly name and give myself more of a license to be more silly with it and to have more fun. And so thus Lord Pemberton Squigglebop was born. It's actually my real name. I just never used to use it before in crypto. I'm a big Douglas Adams fan, who's the author of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the name was very reminiscent.
I read that book, the first one, the first volume.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so funny, right? And yeah, the name Pemberton Squigglebop, like, it just seemed very Douglas Adamsy to me. So I thought it was funny and just went with it.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that. We had Jenny a few episodes ago on our podcast, and he also talked about the how having only one identity in crypto can limit your perspective. So in your case, for example, you had the more serious persona and the more silly thing that you can do, and basically you have to open doors to create connections and grow as a person.
Absolutely. I think that's very true. So I mean I can give a very relevant example as well that I think I've thought to myself day to day. Like often I have things I want to tweet or comment, but I think like no, this isn't really Lord Pemberton or doesn't really fit the vibe here. So even now at times I've been like shit, I want to spin up a new persona to try comment like even more unhinged shit or say other stuff that I wouldn't as Lord Pemberton. And I guess just doing so enables you to explore different facets of things you want to express, right? So yeah, I agree with Jani there, 100%.
With your extensive knowledge in DeFi, how do you assess the current state of the space? Because if you've seen, Vitalik recently tweeted that he's not a fan of DeFi in its present form. We've seen in the previous cycles, we've seen some experimentation very successful and exciting like Ohm forks, Tomb forks, and minor protocols. Why do you think we haven't seen similar experiments like this in this cycle right now?
I think the reason we haven't seen as many of those experiments this cycle as we did last cycle is the same reason we see such a boom in meme coins, where people are putting kind of the circle jerk of crypto like more front and center and saying, hey, like it's always been an online casino, but now we're just going to be more self-aware about it and embrace it. Like when we used to have all these like new financial primitives and stuff built on chain, everyone's out there trying to make the world a better place, very, striving for ideals and that kind of thing. But yeah, now people are kind of embracing the degeneracy a bit more. That's what I feel. However, I do think also a lot of stuff is being built that is like advancing the world or is like really cool financial innovation, but we just don't talk about it as much anymore.
So basically, people are not hiding anymore. They want to turn crypto in the gambling online.
So that's part number one. And part number two is I think people still are building these things. They just get less attention these days. Like, for example,
They
solver
are dormant.
networks. They're more dormant or they're confined to like different circles of CT that a lot of us don't necessarily like always spend time in. Like I think solver networks being used for all kinds of different outsourced execution is way more of a thing this cycle than it was previously. But like nobody really cares that much.
So would you consider it as part of this experimental DeFi category, like OM4, for example, or is it taking a different approach altogether?
I guess it's different innovation because Ohm is like kind of economic innovation at the application layer level, whereas like the example of solver networks is perhaps something more infrastructural, but also using economic incentives to make people do things rationally, right? So yeah, I mean, so I'm kind of rambling here, but innovation, some at different layers of the tech stack, basically.
Yeah, totally
Nice.
makes sense.
Let's start talking about what we've come here today. Could you give us a high-level overview of the Yeet protocol? What's the core idea behind it?
All right, so the Yeet protocol itself first is comprised of two different products. The first product and our flagship product is the Yeet Ponzi, which we like to call the thermonuclear gigaponzi. And it's supposed to be a very game theoretic DeFi protocol, where people put, the Yeet Bera into a pod, and you can extract Bera from this pod in different ways. And there's many different like strategies and techniques you can use to make money here. That's the high level. The way the rules of the game are that people deposit money into the pod, and the last player to deposit money into the pod wins the majority of this pod. Firstly, how do we know who the last player is? Well, there's a timer that counts down from 1 hour, and if it reaches 0, the last person to have made a deposit is named the winner. So if a new person, so what if someone comes in at the last second, just resets the timer.
I lost a lot of testnet beta on that. So let's
Okay.
go.
Well,
Just wait for the mainnet. You will lose a lot of real
Yeah.
beta.
yeah, gonna have to refinance the house on mainnet. But yeah, I know a lot of other people have made a lot of bear on this, so perhaps they have you to thank for this Vera.
Me and other participants, I'm just 1%, so 0.5. Don't know.
Yeah. I mean, look, the funny thing is like even I think I've lost more Bera like playing it on testnet than I've made.
It's so funny that people are talking about the testnet like it's actually mainnet, right? And it's a
Yeah.
full-on experience.
Yeah, I think I have never seen in a testnet phase for a project so much attention to the test tokens.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. It's a lot of hype around Berachain. But so that's the core principle of the game, is that whoever eats last gets the pool. However, many people watching this game may think like, hey, this is a game for idiots. The winning move here is just not to play. And people saying this are 100% right. But there's still a strategy for these people to engage with Yeet. And over here, to do this, all you have to do is stake the Yeet token. Because what's happening is a percentage of all the volume being done in the Ponzi is directly awarded to stakers of the Yeet protocol. So for example, that's the way I personally play Yeet. I'm not going to compete with all the idiots, although I do try sometimes and it's fun. I just stake Yeet and I sit there and I make Bera from all the volume going through the Ponzi.
So we actually know a strategy that is working and is best.
Yeah, so it depends on you. There's another strategy as well, where like in the Yeet Ponzi, we have an epochal distribution of our own native token, the Yeet token, to players in the game. And it's distributed every 24 hours. That's the epoch length to players, depending on how much volume they've done. So we have some players who play this game, they don't even care about the prize pool, right? They care about farming the Yeet token. So let's say there's a period, a day where there's low yeeting volume. If you make a strategic yeet of high volume right at the end of the day, you can farm. Let's say you yeet 100 Bera, but you end up winning 200 Bera worth of Yeet tokens. So there's a different kind of arbitrage or long tail MEV people can extract here.
It's so disturbing that you say the term ETH and it sounds like ETH, like ETH, Ethereum. We actually had our intern to correct the subtitle for the janitor podcast, and we talked about you, and it was Lord Pemberton from ETH, and he corrected Lord Pemberton from ETH.
From ETH.
Yeah, he's not that deep in Berachain yet. We just Berapill him a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's me. Pemby from Ethereum.
Yeah.
He's Vitalik on his persona, on his serious persona. He's Vitalik.
Yeah, I'm Yeetalik.
Yeetard, yeah.
So I have a question following your overview of the protocol. Do you think there will be like a lot of third parties that will create dashboards to calculate when is the best time to eat in the pool, or bots that will try and snipe the last second the pool?
I can tell you that will happen because it's already happening. And I know,
yeah. Okay.
So I know there's at least 3 different teams that have built bots already and are botting the game using various different strategies.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For the people listening, if you're hearing me talk about bots, you may be thinking, ooh, I don't want to play against bots, and fair enough. But the way we've designed Yeet and the mechanisms in the game, it's to be, firstly, bots the only advantage they have is that they don't sleep. Besides that, you can have an advantage in latency and speed in Yeet. It's supposed to be winnable by humans. And also there's many different strategies you can take to beat the bots, and that does happen very often. So don't be put off. It's a game designed for humans. Bots' only advantage is that they don't sleep.
Were there any other DeFi protocols or individuals that inspired you in its creation?
Yeah, so ones I would cite as inspiration are things like FOMO 3D, that was around last cycle, and there was a few other kind of game theoretic protocols, um, that inspired this. Also, like a few years ago, I was looking at in depth at a bunch of, how oracles secure their price feeds or data feeds that they're doing. And some, I believed at the time, were using like various different kinds of Dutch auctions or prediction markets for data feeds, and from that was born like a different experiment. Like I was talking with one of these Oracle teams at the time, and we dreamt up like this small mini game, which is much more complex version of Yeet. Like it was essentially like some kind of fucked up Dutch auction where you got tokens for playing, and also like staking the tokens got you a bit of volume. But when I started speaking to people about this like game or this idea, nobody understood it. So I was like, yeah, I mean, if we deploy this, we're gonna end up with like 7 nerds playing this, but literally no one will give a shit. So we kept dumbing it down and making it more simple and more accessible, and that's how we ended up with Yeet.
Yeah, because people need that dopamine hits, right? We are dependent on the dopamine hits, so it's very easy to just press I want to be there.
Eat dopamine. We need eat dopamine.
Eat dopamine,
Exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, now it's just Yeet. You don't need to understand all the game theory and shit. Like you can still win. Yeet, as we like to say, is for left curves and right curves. That's who wins at Yeet. The mid curves are the ones who give away the money.
I mean, in
Sorry,
crypto,
Viju, that's not targeted at you. I think you're right curve for the record. But
in crypto, usually you win if you are right or left curve, not in between.
Exactly. Unfortunately, I'm firmly mid curve.
No, I'm sure you're left.
Oh, thank you. I aspire to it.
So to move forward, we'd like to cover a bit about YeetBond. YeetBonds have become a key feature of the protocol, and I don't know much about them, to be honest. So could you give a Yeetard explanation to YeetBonds?
Sure. Yeet, 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 yeet. Yeet, yeet. Yeet? Yeet, 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 yeet. No, okay. I won't just sit here and yeet.
I think that could have been an interesting podcast, 1 hour of only eating.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good idea, man.
That would be great. I mean, we can always do a part 2, right? Which is just for the Yeetards. There you go. Yeet, yeet, yeet. Yeet, yeet. Yeet, 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 yeet. Yeet. But anyway, sorry, back to YeetBonds. So YeetBonds. For a bit of history here, some of you listeners may be familiar with Olympus DAO, right? And Olympus DAO kind of pioneered, well, many things, but among them was protocol-owned liquidity, right? And they were one of the first protocols to build up all this protocol-owned liquidity, which they did so via using bonding. And bonding just basically means selling your own token OTC and accepting like LP tokens of you, like Ohm ETH instead, right? So many other protocols did this. You could do it for any ERC20. It didn't necessarily have to be an LP token. So Olympus spun out something called Olympus Pro, which was a marketplace for these bonds, which then rebranded to Bond Protocol, who is basically the tech provider and our partner for YeetBonds. So we're like the official front end for Olympus Pro on Berachain. And so what is it exactly then? It's a place where protocols can sell their token OTC permissionlessly. Why you would sell it like this as opposed to dumping in your liquidity pool? Because if a protocol just dumps their token, they're probably gonna firstly incur a lot of slippage, secondly incur a lot of FUD, thirdly maybe holders won't be so happy if you're just dumping on your community. So something a lot of protocols do is they try to sell OTC. Selling OTC traditionally, you're doing it's permission, not everyone can access these deals, there's a lot of illegal infrastructure, and there's very high fees for brokers. So the advantage of doing it on chain is you bypass all of that and it's more accessible. Anyone can buy it. So how does this work? I'm a protocol, I'm XYZ protocol. I want to sell my XYZ token and bond in, let's say I want to acquire more cash for my runway. My token, my XYZ token is trading at $1 in the market. And I say, hey, if you buy it via bonds, you can acquire it for 90 cents. Because anyway, if I tried to sell them all in liquidity pool, I would incur so much slippage, I would end up getting like an average price of 85 cents. say, right? So if I sell them all for 90 cents 5 bonds, it makes sense for me. And then for the users, they're coming and they're saying, hey, this costs $1 in the market, but I can buy it here for 90 cents. That's a great deal. What's the catch? The catch is that you have a few days lockup. Maybe you'll have
just
like
a few
5
days.
It can be as long as the protocol wants. Traditionally, like for these kind of products, these bonds, it can be as little as a day or 2 days lockup. And the reason you have any lockup at all is just so people don't instantly arbitrage this price. So they
makes
can't.
sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Exactly.
Yeah, but that's amazing. You integrated like the own bonds into the whole Berachain ecosystem. That's pretty genius.
I'm gonna go a little off topic here, but Olympus is coming to Berachain as well, right?
Yes, they are.
Oh, that's official.
I heard in the spaces Olympus with
With Nabzilla? Oh, Beraland.
Yeah, it was the Nabzilla, yes.
I missed that one. I had the alarm on it and I missed it.
Yeah. So yeah, Ohm will be doing various things on Berachain, like deploying native Ohm, making cooler loans available to GOM holders and Ohm holders of Berachain. And yeah, so naturally, I think there will be a lot of demand also for protocols to bond in Ohm, or maybe Ohm token, liquidity tokens, for pairs that exist against Ohm. So yeah, lots of stuff will be happening.
Okay, let's go back to our Yeetard conversation.
Yeet.
You have partnerships with Berachain and Kodiak. Could you elaborate how this liquidity trifecta works and what it means?
Sure. So the liquidity trifecta is just a fancy name for something we've put together. And the TLDR here is something that results in the Yeet Bero pool on Kodiak getting tons of liquidity incentives. So firstly, we'll get a lot of partner incentives from Kodiak to this pool. And in addition to that, we have done a token swap with Berachain, where we've given them a percentage of our token supply, which they will use to exclusively bribe our gauge on Berachain. And also we have a bunch of Berachain's voting power that we will use to vote for our gauge. So the result of this is that whoever goes and provides liquidity to the Yeet Bero pair, they are now earning swap fees, they are earning OBero, they are earning KDK, and they are earning XKDK. So basically 4 or 5 different tokens. And so what about the Yeet bribes here? The Yeet bribes are going to people who hold high Bero or Berachain's governance token, essentially. And later on, we'll also be using bribes on Infrared after our pool is whitelisted.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for that, Pemby. I want to touch a bit on the NFTs. You guys have the Yeetards NFT collection that I assume they will offer some perks upon mainnet, such as airdrop of the Yeet tokens. Are there any other benefits for the holders, and why is the community burning them? Because there are already, I think,
because
a sizable
they are retards,
amount.
Man. That's why they burn them.
I mean, at the beginning, it made sense because they were really cheap, but right now, 0 to ETH is not like a normal amount of burn,
Yeah, but still every day I'm getting DMs of like people, hey, look at this transaction hash. Like I just burned a fucking NFT. And I'm like, why? There's no benefit. And they just go, haha, LOL.
Maybe they expect they're gonna receive something in return when it launches on mainnet, right?
I think maybe that's why a lot of people are doing it, but we've been super clear with everyone that, hey, burners literally get nothing.
Burners get burned.
Burners
get
burned.
Exactly. And we tell them, you're being an idiot. Like we people have asked us, like, hey, should I burn this NFT? And we go, no, you shouldn't burn it. Like you're literally losing all your perks. You're losing your NFT. Like you shouldn't. But it's really funny.
I mean, they receive a special role on the Discord. I think that's it.
Yeah, wow, they get a special role on Discord. Like, what the fuck, Amazing. Look, your parents respect you now. Like, this is it, lads. But yeah, so it's more a cultural thing. There's no, like, kind of rational incentive to burn.
Okay, and what perks can we expect for the actual ETFs that didn't burn their collection? Is there gonna be like an airdrop for it or something, or is it unknown right now?
So for all the Yeetard NFT holders with half a brain cell who haven't burned their NFTs, yes, there's a bunch of perks. I can't comment on any airdrop. I don't even know what an airdrop is personally.
Nobody knows.
No,
It's
but
okay.
maybe Coz knows. We can ask him.
I've been an airdrop guy a few years ago, so yeah, I know.
Yeah. All right. So you actually do know. So what the first benefit they will get is, you know how I mentioned that people who play the gigaponzi, they get, Yeet rewards. They get rewarded with the Yeet token just for playing the game. So if you hold NFTs in your wallet, you will get boosted rewards, essentially.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's for the stakers as well, or just for the ones that play the game?
This is for the ones that play the game.
Yeah, gotcha. Thank you.
Yes. In addition to that, because we've been around in Berachain now for a while, and we have like really good relationships with a lot of protocols, the Yeetard NFT holders get a bunch of benefits from other protocols. So
Whitelist and stuff.
So you might get a bit of, a few surprises from Beradoge and Berapunks and Beramonium. You'll also get, all the whitelists, blah, blah, blah. You'll get extra perks in games like Beramonium and Barrow Horses. You'll get discounted borrowing rates in Goldieland and a bunch of surprises. And like, we actually get so many whitelists and benefits. We have a whole channel in our Discord just, dedicated to tracking all these benefits. So for anyone listening, go to our server, check out the holder benefits channel. There's a bunch of shit in there. I can't even read it out because I can't even read.
There are too many.
Yeah, like genuinely too many, and I can't be bothered. So go check it out.
You know what? I'm very curious. What do you think about new communities like Sprotos, $Bitcoin joining the Berachain ecosystem? Do you think we will see more projects migrating post mainnet launch?
Good question. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
But you have some sort of partnership with Protos, right? I've seen you tweeting with them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so stuff is being cooked with the Sprotos. I can confirm. That stuff is being cooked with the process.
You don't need, but I like all those battles in the Twitter. They are very amazing.
Very entertaining.
You with Gianni, you with Sprotos, with everyone. Crack eggs.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gianni for some reason has this like fucking crazy idea that eggs are better than crack, and like, yeah, that's just dumb.
I think he's wrong, man. He doesn't know it yet, but he's wrong.
Yeah, thank you, Viju. Yeah, obviously he's wrong.
So talking now a bit broadly about the ecosystem, which are your top 10 projects in the Berachain right now?
Peace. All right, so definitely not Yeet. We can.
Yeah, beyond it.
That. Yeah, I mean, ahead of it. I mean, we can leave that out of the top 50. I think. I mean, what springs to mind immediately is Kodiak, Infrared, Verodrome, Ramen, Nav Finance.
All the OGs,
Gummy. Yeah, all the OGs. IVX, Goldilocks. I like Vase. I like Barrowboro. Shit, there's too many. I'm generally just gonna forget projects and end up offending someone. I like Dolomite. Did I say Gummy already?
Yeah,
Beramonium.
Yeah, yes.
Love Beramonium.
Beramonium, you're an advisor, right? For their
I am an advisor, yes. So I might be and an investor, so I'm biased. Yeah.
No, they're cool. But I'm also a small investor, so I'm also biased. Sorry.
All right.
How does a typical Yeetard day look in your life right now? I mean, what's a day in the life of the Lord?
So for me, I wake up pretty late, maybe around midday. Depends how much crack I did the night before. Wake up late. Hangover, yeah. Put on my sunnies, blink out the fucking sleep from my eyes. Grab a beer, take the edge off. Hop into Discord, drop a few yeets, drop a few BMs, call a few people idiots. After a half an hour of hard work eating in the Discord, maybe I'll do the same on Twitter for a bit. At that point, it's 2 p.m. Time for a cigarette, another beer, close my laptop, work's done for the day. I'm a bit stressed out by this point. So I chill by the pool. I balance my ashtray on my beer belly, another beer, maybe start on the whiskeys around 5 p.m. Bit of a Hunter S. Thompson kind of thing.
Exactly. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah,
you took the words out of my mouth because that's what's his schedule,
Yeah.
But with a lot of LSD involved and
Yeah, a lot of eating. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't do much work at Yeet. I mean, we have some interns. They're great. They do everything. As I said, I just answer some DMs, for half an hour, and then they do all the shit. I can't be bothered with that. I mean, fuck that.
You know what? You know what I like at this answer. Everybody, when you ask them, they're gonna tell you, "Oh man, I work so fucking much. I'm so overburdened. I work 16 hours per day. I don't have time to do shit." Nobody says, "I'm just chilling. I'm okay. I'm enjoying life. I like what I do. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, drink a beer."
Exactly.
Life's good, bro. Life's good.
A cigarette and a beer is one of life's greatest pleasures, I do think.
Exactly.
I mean, all these people working hard, you just fucking get some interns. It's great. Yeah, that's financial advice.
What advice would you give to a young builder right now that's looking to start building on Bera or in crypto in general? What's your number one advice that you wish you had when you started?
The one piece of advice I wish I had, just building in general or building in Berachain specifically?
Both. Why not?
Yeah.
If they are different, both. I mean, in Berachain you have to be very particular if you don't understand Berachain, but
yeah. So for Berachain specifically, I mean, for other builders, let's get to that in a second. But first, let's talk about Berachain specifically. I'd say a big thing for Berachain and doing well in Berachain is, by the way, did you hear that? I'm sitting by the window in a loud car.
Yeah, right. But it's no worries. I mean,
all right.
We are not a CNN.
Okay.
We are ENN, YNN.
Yeah. Okay, so for Berachain specifically, I'd say that a lot of Beras, they like to do partnerships or agreements with other people who kind of are in the culture already and get the culture. So it's not about having the best product. I'd say a big part of your go-to-market on Berachain is literally shitposting, being in the Discord groups, ooga booging, yeeting, whatever it is, showing that you get the culture, showing that you understand all the references, you understand the lore. I'd say this kind of stuff, it applies everywhere in crypto, but it's even more so true in Berachain than it is other places. So, because I'm not going to name names, but I think there's protocols out there with, great teams and great products, but they're not so much in the culture. And I think as a result, the kind of deals they can or can't form are impacted by this.
I think that the best thing, teams that have great technical knowledge to expand would be hire an intern that's been here for the last few years and always talk with him for decisions, because interns and people in general that are terminally online understand the culture, like you said.
Yeah. So getting an intern who gets it and is in the culture is a great first step. I'd say though the best thing you can do is have the founder be that person, because the founder is also making all the strategic decisions. If they're fed by first-hand knowledge of the ecosystem, I think you'll make better decisions.
Thank you for that, Lord. Enough with all the retardness. We want to wrap things up with some rapid-fire questions and to get a sense of where your head is at when it comes to crypto. Just quick, top-of-mind answers for this. We don't have to go long. That's it, man. In your opinion, what's the most underrated and overrated idea in crypto right now?
Damn, that's a hard one. Jesus.
we prepare what's worse for the last.
Yeah. Okay, what's the most overrated idea? the most overrated idea is all these people, I think, preaching financial nihilism and saying like, oh, everything's all about meme coins. Like meme coins are the only thing that will take over this cycle and everything else doesn't really matter. Look, I'm building a Ponzi. I'm not one to talk. And also it is consensus that meme coins like are the thing, right? And they probably will be the cycle, but I don't think we should be so quick to abandon all the other cool shit happening in crypto and like be so quick to disregard it. So therefore, I think like that kind of approach of financial nihilism is overrated. What's underrated is the kind of all the abstraction stuff being built where you can outsource complex actions. So for example, I think like the act of signing a token approval, which totally breaks UX and like your grandma is never going to do on chain and all this stuff. I think all this will be abstracted away by execution marketplaces, aka solver networks, which will become more complex and more capable of doing arbitrary tasks. And I think that's underrated because I think like that's kind of the thing, one of the main stepping stones from bringing crypto from the niche to the more mainstream world.
Yeah,
Sounds
thanks.
good, brother.
That was some pretty good answer. Thank you for that.
What are your free favorite crypto apps in terms of user experience and cool use cases?
Well, I'll grab my phone. Let me tell you.
I think that's the most perfect answer. Just looking at what you use daily.
Does CoinGecko count?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
CoinGecko, I guess, simple. I mean, let's see. I actually don't have that many crypto apps. I still have Friendtech on my phone. I mean, Friendtech.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, despite the fact that they've pretty much abandoned it and it's kind of.
You can still use it, right? I mean, I bought the Jenny key on Friendtech. It's abandoned, but
that's
you can
why I also
buy
have
the key,
it in
right?
my phone
Exactly.
for the Jenny key.
I was very bullish last year on Friendtech. Very, very bullish. I really like the project.
Yeah. So yeah, same. I mean, I'd say I had so much fun on Friendtech in its heyday, right when it was all the hype. Yeah, I'd say that's one of the most innovative or most cool things. Even though, yeah, it's fallen out of favor these days. Just the concept, very nice. What else? I don't have this on my phone, but one thing I use sometimes is this prediction market on flights. It's called.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have it in my bookmarks somewhere. I can't find it now, but it's essentially you can make a bet on whether a flight will get delayed or not. So
Damn, I
That's
just bet
crazy.
on all my flights because they are all delayed.
yeah, so you can use it to hedge your risk on getting
Your-
delayed.
I really need to look into that. will
I
ask you
didn't
the
know
link.
that something like that existed, actually.
Yeah, so in crypto, the thing is you have so many of these really cool, like niche, obscure apps, but they're all built by nerds who like don't know how to do distribution or go to market. So there's like hundreds of these apps in crypto that are just undiscovered gems that I have all in my fucking bookmarks somewhere.
Do you consider Discord or Telegram crypto native apps? I mean, I only use Discord for crypto. I only use Telegram for crypto, right? Even though they are not on the blockchain or something.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question with another question, I guess it's like how do we define like an app that's crypto native? Does it mean it's necessarily interacts with the blockchain, or does it mean it's something that crypto people use?
Crypto people use. You don't have to be so specific, right?
Oh, well, it's something if crypto people use, then yeah, Telegram is the biggest fucking crypto app in the world. I mean, it actually is as well because it has like a wallet and all that stuff on Ton. But I mean, look, if Telegram went down tomorrow for whatever reason, the whole industry would be fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of saved messages there and conversations and groups. I don't even have space in my folders for any more groups. I need to create new folders for new groups. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, imagine the distress if Telegram like just suddenly disappeared tomorrow. We'd be so down bad.
What are your thoughts on Ton, if you are still on this subject?
I don't think I have like a very contrarian or interesting opinion here. I think it's really cool, and they'll probably onboard a lot of people to Ton just because that Telegram to crypto funnel. they're best positioned to take advantage of that, obviously.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, as I had not really a spicy take.
On the topic of FriendTech, because we all said that we use it and we enjoy it, we have one of our last questions. On what crypto-related topic have you completely changed your mind in the past year?
I hate to be that boomer guy, but it's actually meme coins.
Yeah, me too. I fully agree. I was like, I had
Everyone,
them
they
the
don't want to admit it, man.
Yeah.
I didn't want to admit it to myself, right?
Yeah. But look, the real shit I don't want to admit, I'm not even saying on the podcast, right? No, but I mean, there's not some big guilty pleasure. Yeah, it's meme coins. Like in past years, I've always kind of maybe dismissed meme coins a bit or seen them just as gambling. But in the past year or two, I've really come around to seeing them more. Yeah, it's like cultural bets or tokenized culture. And I know like this whole narrative is being really shoved down our throats now, of like tokenized mini religions. But yeah, I mean, to an extent, it is true.
What's one key piece of advice you'd give to crypto startup funders?
Stop focusing so much on your product and tech and just focus more on go-to-market and distribution, and then figure out the other shit later.
Yeah, I mean, I have the feeling that at least half of the crypto projects should do that in the space right now.
Exactly.
Even for Berachain, because Berachain, he is just a crypto-oriented cult, right? If you are not into crypto, what the fuck do you understand from Berachain, right?
Well, imagine you showed your auntie Berachain, you'd give her a fucking heart attack.
If you show them meat, if you show them the honey jar, what is this? What is this? People yapping on the internet, people that Ponzi's, bonds. They have another language. I mean, it's batshit crazy, right?
Yeah, it is indeed batshit crazy. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, this was all for today, Lord. I mean, I really appreciate this Yeetard discussion that we had. I think it was very, very interesting to pick in your head. Cass, thank you so much for coming on board with me. Cass is very Bera-pilled, like myself, so we definitely had a blast here. And I hope to see you, Lord, soon. I don't know if at DEF CON, but let's see, okay?
Well, Kos, Viju, thanks guys to you for having me on. It's a great discussion. The hour flew by, so I mean that's always a good sign.
It was great. Thank you for having us.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Take care.